Hi, my name is Brittany and welcome to Brits and the Bees. Just a heads up, all the links that I use and all the sources I use to obtain some of the information in this video will be in the description below. So if you have time, you can check out the links and read up on some stuff. So, okay, for the topic for this video is going to be the virginity or the concept of virginity, because some people do believe in the concept of virginity, some people just don't. It's just a thing that happens. But we're gonna go ahead and start with like just a definition of virginity, and that's just a state of never having had sexual intercourse ever. So sex is more than just heterosexual penetrative sex. You can have sex in multiple different ways, like several different ways. This video will be leaning towards heterosexual penetrative sex, but it is good to I'm reiterating that like there is more than one way to have sex than just heterosexual penetrative sex. So in this video, I'm gonna go ahead and use just 5 points to kind of just discuss, how to go about, virginity, having sex for the first time. So kind of just hang in there. I won't talk too much in this video, so yeah. Point number 1, please explore yourself before you have sex for the first time. Because many times, you'll probably go in thinking oh, you already know what's gonna happen, but you kind of want to know what you like masturbate essentially. Do you like nipple play? Do you orgasm with vaginal penetration or anal penetration? What do you like? Do you like just being rubbed on, touched? Do you like temperature stuff? Explore yourself. Invest in a vibrator or something that lets you know, okay, this is what I like, this is what I don't like. So that being said, point number 2, this is more a personal note, but in your mind, abolish the concept of taking someone's virginity and the concept of losing your virginity. Because if both of y'all are having consensual sex, no one's really losing anything. No one's really taking anything. It's an experience that both of y'all share. So take ownership of it. You're not giving it to someone. You're not taking it away from someone. You're both having consensual sex for the first time with each other, given if both of y'all are virgins. But yeah, that sort of taking someone's virginity, losing your virginity to someone, it doesn't give you ownership of the activities y'all both did together, y'all both consented to doing together. That being said, take the first time you have sex, that's how I say it, first time having sex, take that as a learned experience, because you're not gonna be perfect on the first try. You're probably, especially for heterosexual women, you're not even gonna reach orgasm the first time. Many women don't reach orgasm the first time having sex. Whichever women do, kudos to you, but usually that doesn't always happen. You may not even be able to fit everything, tons of stuff will be awkward, but it's a shared experience. Take it as a learning experience. Take whatever happened the first time and use it for the next time you want to have sex. Don't let it discourage you from not having sex ever again, because some awkward first time experiences do tend to be like that. Oh my gosh, all this happened and I'm never gonna have sex again because I don't want this to happen again. This is so embarrassing. No, embarrassing stuff, it happens during sex. That's bound to happen. Just take it as a learning experience. Point number 3, please use a condom. Safe sex is great sex. I'll say this till I die. Please use a condom. If this is already your first time having sex, you kind of don't want to think about the possibility of an STD transfer, or if both of y'all are virgins, you don't want to think about the possibility of pregnancy. You just don't. If you want to buy a lubricated condom, so you don't have to worry about also buying lube, that's fine. But wear a condom. And if your partner tries to say, oh, we can do without a condom, oh, it doesn't feel the same without a condom, or it doesn't feel the same with a condom, it kind of flubbed up. But if they try and say that, then no, use a condom. Like, so many issues will be resolved if you just use a condom during sex, because you don't want to end up having the traumatizing circumstance where you have sex for the first time, or at least you have heterosexual penetrative sex for the first time, like between a cisgendered man and a cisgendered woman, and the cisgendered woman ends up turning out pregnant or something like that because you chose not to use a condom. Because clearly, if you're going in for the first time, you're not exactly the most experienced on how sex works because it's your first time. So use that condom. Like, they're not, I think like a pack of 12 the last time I've ever bought it, it was like $6 plus tax. Obviously, it'll probably reach towards $7, but they're not expensive. Like, they'll carry you a long way if you just use them. You'll avoid so many consequences, serious consequences. Point number 4, if you're having any type of penetrative sex, whether heterosexual, homosexual, whatever, if you're having any type of penetrative sex, go slow for the first time. Because whether you're using whether the hole is the anal cavity or the vaginal opening, chances are if it's the first time having sex, there's a lot of stretching that's gonna be happening. So in this circumstance, lube is your best friend, your very best friend. Because why would you want to go in dry? Because chances are, if it's like a cisgender woman and you're using the vaginal opening as like this the point of penetration, chances are the girl is probably real anxious. So it's not a whole lot of rivers flowing down there for anything to really happen. So sometimes lube is necessary. There's nothing to be ashamed of using lube for sex. And like even with the anal cavity, going in dry, that's not a self-lubricating part of the body. So going in dry that'll just be very painful. So yeah. So like if you have to go slow, you have to be very gentle, because if you go fast or if you don't lubricate or anything, especially if, let's say in a woman's case, the hymen hasn't been broken yet, there'll be a lot of bleeding and discomfort. And that being said, with the hymen is not necessarily, how do I call it? It's not necessarily like an indication of virginity or like the law or like not non-virginity, if that makes sense. I was gonna say the loss of virginity, but yeah, you may have sex for the first time and your hymen is already like broken or something like that, or your hymen may just be stretched, because in some cases it can just be stretched and not broken, and in some cases it can be broken just by sports, riding a bike, horseback riding, stuff like that. So just remember, a hymen is not an indication of virginity or loss of virginity whatsoever. Point number 5, my last point, is your experience is your own. You can listen to other people's first time experiences, but I would take it with the tiniest grain of salt, like seriously, because one person's experience may have been super smooth, not all that awkward, because everyone's first experience is going to be very awkward, but like theirs may not have been that awkward. But you may skip a couple of steps that I said in this video. You might forget 1 or 2 things, and you'll go in and you're super nervous, you're probably sweating like crazy, and you're getting to learn somebody else's anatomy. You're even learning your own anatomy at that point. It's just, you're learning all these new things. You'll probably get overwhelmed. It'll probably end up being super awkward, super cringy, and you might even be ashamed of your first time experience because it's not like that other person's, when that is not at all how you should think about it. Think about it like, this is my learning experience. I'm gonna take the good and the bad out of what just happened and shape up on it. And then if I'm ready to go back out there and try it again, I've already learned from it. It's that simple. Like, there is no such, well, obviously there are bad experiences, but in the context of taking it as a learning experience, there's no bad learning experience. You're gonna learn that, oh yeah, maybe this would have been a good point to use lube because we couldn't even get it all the way in, type stuff. Or I didn't even reach orgasm when it was my first time. And I know that doesn't happen with a whole lot of women. So I should learn in my future endeavors, my own body, how to reach orgasm with my own self before going back out there, type stuff. So yeah, it's a, like I've always been, like I'm saying throughout the video, it's a learning experience. It is your first time having sex. You're not losing anything. You're not taking anything from anybody. You are simply learning. Hi, be sure to like this video and subscribe to my channel, Brits and the Bees. And thank you so much for watching. There'll probably be a new video like next week, so stay tuned.
Team, they just keep their eyes on us like a TV. We just gon' keep shining like a light beam. We be in the studio just smoking light green. Money just gon' keep on flowing like a light stream. I'ma keep on sipping lean like a high C. Ay, got some brothers in the hood tryna make it out. So when I get big, you know I'ma help them out. They gon' cruise in the Bentley coupe all around town with my music in the bag, bumping this surround sound. And you know they got my back. Run up on me, best believe you gon' get clapped. Yeah, round of applause, and you know I'm in the game, and you know I want the top. Ay.